Welcome, everybody, to Cowboy Algorithms. This is episode 1. We're excited to start this. We're going to feature some of the more successful cowboys and cowgirls across the country. We want to deep dive into their mind and see what their algorithm is and what was the secret to their success to get to this point in their career. Our first guest is Tyler Worley. He's no stranger to success. You know, he's was raised in Berryville, Arkansas, hails in Morgan Mill, Texas now. National high school team roping champion, 3-time NFR champion, 90s country music connoisseur, husband, father, horse trainer, and recently got the call from Mr. Dan Wall at Lazy Arena to be a late addition to the Cinch Time Event Championships. What was it like to get that call from Dan Wall to say, hey, you're in the Ironman this year?
Honestly, it was a dream come true. Like I've wanted to do that for a long time, and for a long time I was afraid that my wife would get upset. I have responsibilities now, especially now that I have a kid, you know. It's like, I would love to do that, but it just seems kind of crazy. Like, I was afraid she'd be upset. And then a couple of years ago, we was leaving there. I went up there and helped a couple of my buddies, and she said, why don't you do that? You would love that. And I was like, you really don't care? She said, no, I think you'd love it. And I'm like, well, let's get started. So immediately I called my friend Cody Jang, and I said, hey, I don't know anything about it, but will you help me bulldog? I said, I don't even know if they'll let me in, but I want to jump some.
This was a couple years ago?
A couple years ago,
okay.
Yes. And he was like, absolutely, which he has a lot of confidence in me for some reason. He's like, we can get you throwing them in 5, no problem. And I'm thinking, have you ever looked at me? Like, I mean, I appreciate the confidence, but he started helping me. We went and run the dummies and stuff at the college, actually, at Charlton. And he's been helping me, and here and there, you know, when I have time, we'd kind of mess around with it.
So that's kind of wild to me. So before you ever even were technically even on the radar from them to call you, or you just said, man, I enjoyed this, I had fun, I want to go prepare myself, so if that phone rings and I get the chance, I don't have to say no.
I told my dad the other day after Dan called me, I told my dad, I said, under no circumstances could I say no. Yeah. I have to say yes. Like, it would be against everything in my body to say no. I told my wife the other day, for me to not go, I will absolutely have to be dragging a leg behind me.
Yeah.
If I hurt myself, I'm not saying a word to anybody. I'm going. You know, like, this is a chance I can't turn down.
Yeah. Most people would be willing to enter it if there wasn't bulldogging, right?
Yeah. But
and you're the guy that is, I want to go because there's.
I'm more excited about the.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you've kind of been a multi-sport cowboy. I mean, college you calf rope too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, every healer thinks they can head, so you've always headed a little.
Yeah, a little bit.
But and you've roped calves, obviously, but steer roping and bulldog, is that probably the 2 newest events to you?
Yeah, I've steer roped a good little bit. I told somebody, I can't remember who I told, but I've tripped enough steers to not be completely ignorant about it.
Okay.
Like
You're comfortable.
You're not dangerous.
Well, no, I think even like Jesse Stipes, he's going to let me ride his horse, and I think he was a little unsure how experienced I was, which you should be, because those are some of the most special horses in the world.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what you're doing, you can get in a bind, and you could ruin a horse forever, because they can get into some jams. And I think I know enough to not do anything crazy, like to just go try to complete the course and ride the horse, set it up. Like, I've done it enough to know that I can't press in that event. Like, I can't do it because, for one, it's really hard to rope them on the way in. It's just it's a kind of an old school event, and you have to set it up, and it's, I don't know, it seems like it's been that way forever. For a reason. Yeah. There's a reason you don't just go as fast as you can.
Definitely a little less comfortable in the steer roping and the bulldogging. I mean, with team roping, you know how to step on the gas a little bit and get one quick, or calf roping, you've done enough of that. The steer roping and bulldogging, we're just trying to survive, and then we're going to thrive in the other ones. Is that
I would think so. No matter how hard I try in the calf roping and the bulldogging, I'm probably not going to be 3 in the bulldogging, and I'm probably not going to be 8 in the calf roping. So, I'm just going to try to do my job. And the tripping's the same way. A lot of the steers when I was up there, there's some pretty tricky steers. You kind of got your work cut out to get them knocked down and then keep them down and then get them tied. Just get them tied and nothing crazy. But I think that I've done it enough to at least go about it the right way. Whether or not I get it done or not, I think I've at least been experienced enough to kind of see a few different scenarios of what could happen.
Yeah. How many times have you been up there to help?
I went in 2018 and I only healed for Shay Carroll.
Yeah.
And then 2019 and 2020, I headed and healed for Cash Myers and Lane Carney. Cash Myers had a really good chance to win it. He was winning it coming into the 5th round.
Yeah.
And in 20, and his last we caught clean with him heading, and then all I had to do left was heal for him. And his calf got up. He put it all on him, put 2 wraps on him, and tied him tight. For some reason, calf just got up. And he was in the lead by a good bit.
Yeah.
And that's as close as I've had a chance to, like, helping somebody do good there.
Yeah.
But I went those 3 years, and then I didn't go that year. I actually kind of hurt my pinky. It sounds really bad.
Yeah.
I hurt my pinky, and I couldn't hang on to my rope very good.
Yeah.
That was in 2019, maybe, and I lost my rope for Lane Carney, and I was pretty bummed out. And I didn't go.
It's a lot of
back.
pressure.
Well,
on
and
helpers.
I just didn't do that good for those guys, and I felt bad, and I didn't go back for some reason. Maybe they didn't have it the next year, and then after that, I didn't go back for a few years, and then I went in. Not last year, but the year before, I helped Colton Schmidt and Dylan Hancock. And then last year, I helped Colton Schmidt in the Open, and I helped a couple kids in the junior deal.
So you've been there, you've seen it, and you've been around it.
Yeah.
Because it's 5 events, 5 rounds, right? 25 head.
Yes.
Yeah.
But after the first round, they cut down 5, so they cut down to top 15 for the final round. Right? Yeah. It's truly an Ironman. It's a grind. Obviously, you've been a helper. Have you decided who's going to be helping you this year?
Cooper Freeman.
Okay. Cooper's going to be heading in healing for you?
Yes, he told me. He said, "I'll heal." He was my first phone call when I got in, and he said, "I said, are you ready? You want to go?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll go heal for you." And I said, "No, sir, you're doing both.
Doing both.
You're doing both because him and I, we had a lot alike. We know our limitations, so we don't go out of that. We stay in our bubble there. Like I like to get up there and trade paint with them and lay it on the horns and turn off.
Yeah,
because I know I can't reach.
You're pretty excited about Cooper being the one.
Yes,
help you.
Because me and him rope together all the time. He comes stayed at the house. He lived with me for a couple winters, and man, I know exactly what he's going to do, and he knows what I'm going to do.
Yeah, and you're borrowing horses in the bulldog and calf roping and steer roping. Talk to us a little bit about that.
I'm going to ride Clay Brown's horse in the calf roping, Garrett Curry's horse in the bulldogging, and Jesse Stipes' horse in the tripping.
Perfect. It truly takes an army. I mean, it's a whole crew.
It's all hands on deck.
Everybody's there. Well, we're pulling for you. I hope it's awesome. But let's fast forward to the championship round. Okay. You say you're a realist. You talk about expectations and all. It's the first year, but you're a hand. Okay. There's professional team ropers, professional cowboys. Right. You're in the cowboy category. Okay. Let's fast forward. You win it all. You win it all. Yep. First year of the Ironman, something you've dreamed about for years. Let's be honest, you talked about doing this and was preparing to do it before you ever even got on the radar or called to do it.
Yes.
What's it feel like to win, and who's the one person you can't wait to share that victory with and say, we did it?
Yeah, I mean, that would be a huge blessing for me because I've never been really an all-around cowboy. Because, like I said, I'm realistic. I don't want to spend my money entering the calf roping or the tripping because I don't feel prepared. I don't practice it all year. I can't justify doing it. Like I said, I have a family. I can't justify doing it because I feel like it's just me blowing money. Yeah. But in this one instance, I can justify doing it because it's a free-for-all.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly. And I've been there enough to know you just don't step on yourself. And I'm probably a little too conservative anyway. It probably hurts me. It did the whole time of my rodeo career. I'm too conservative. I can't make myself throw if I don't think I'm going to catch. Yeah. Well, it's perfect there. Yeah. So that feels like it's almost set up for something that I would be comfortable doing.
Show up, you do your job.
You just do your job and you just try not to make mistakes. Yeah. Just don't mess up. And I I think if I for whatever reason could manage to win it, I would be so excited to tell my dad.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge fan of it and he never shows emotion, but he was excited when I got in.
Yeah.
He was very excited.
That's cool.
Yeah. So
It'll be a good week. It'll be good.
yeah, I'm excited.
That's fine.
Good or bad, I'm just happy to get the opportunity. And
That's all right.
I think they should be honored to have you in the field, and this is the first year of many you're going to be doing it,
I appreciate
and we're looking forward to it. I know that I know that I'll be tuning in to see how it is. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Clearly a lot of people have seen it at the NFR. You've rodeoed for a lot of years. You've recently decided to step away from rodeoing as hard. Tell us a little bit about that decision and what plans do you currently have?
Well, I mean, honestly, for a long time, I was terrified of the day that I couldn't rodeo anymore. It scared me for a lot of years. And it sounds selfish, but for a long time, I didn't feel like I was ready to have kids because I feel like that puts a timeline. So I don't know if I have a kid. Okay, so I want to be home. I want to be with them. That's, say, 5 years I've got until they start school. That terrified me.
Yeah.
And I kind of prayed about it, and I talked to my wife about it, and she was kind of ready, and I said, you know what? If you're ready, I'm not going to make you sacrifice this for me. Let's, if you want to have kids, let's have kids. So anyways, fast forward now, I have a almost 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And now stepping away scares me zero. I there's no part of me that wants to leave them two at home because they don't really want to go with me, and I don't blame them. I don't want to raise my kid in a car seat, and he has so much fun staying at home now. He's getting big enough. He wants to ride. Yesterday, Brittany said the neighbor stopped him. He was halfway between our driveways. He was headed to Aunt Cindy's house. Aunt Cindy lives about 3 miles from us.
There you go.
But she gives him cookies. He was headed over there on his bike.
Yeah.
So, man,
being a full-time rodeo cowboy has a lot of sacrifice.
Well, it does, and I didn't want them to have to sacrifice for me.
Yeah.
Because my wife has sacrificed enough. She's went with me. I've rodeoed for 10 years, 2016 to 2026.
She's drove all night.
She's done everything, and she likes to run barrels a little bit and kind of mess around with it. And we've got quite a few horses of our own. I've been starting our 2-year-olds, and I've got a lot of stuff at home to do. And honestly, I really enjoy riding young horses, and I hate that I had to leave in the summer for 3 months, and I got home and my horses aren't any better.
Yeah.
When I'm like, man, these horses should be ready to go, and they're at home, and then I'm a month out of just getting them back to where I can do something on them. And then I kind of got to thinking, I had a couple not great years. I actually, 2 years ago, 2024, I had the best year rodeoing I had in my life. The year before, I won 94,000, maybe 93.6 or something like that, and I made the finals. The next year, I won like 95 or 6,000. I did not break the top 20.
Yeah.
And I was kind of just in a spot where I've got all these horses to ride. I have the best horses I've ever had in my life, and I'm not willing to do what I know I need to do to be successful. I know I'm not. In my heart, I know.
You gotta know our limitations.
I'm not willing to, just ride 3 practice horses a day and throw fast and be aggressive and practice like I need to win. I'm just not willing to do it. Yeah. I would rather ride 5 3-year-olds and they get a little bit better, and I have the time of my life. I don't have to go anywhere.
You have to love the grind.
Yes, you have to love it. And when I got to the point where I had my kid, and this summer there was about a month and a half that they didn't go with me, I went with Cooper, and Cooper's like my little brother. We had a blast.
Yeah.
But I miss my family.
Yeah.
And I was not having fun.
Yeah.
And I told my wife, if I don't love it, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I set this goal in my head, and I kind of let it ruin my life for a while. I wanted to win over $1 million, and I wanted to make the NFR 5 times.
Okay.
And then I got to thinking this summer when I got home, I actually called Bry. I roped with him the last 2 years, and he's done a great job. And this summer, we both took turns. Neither one of us roped great, and I called him and I said, "Man, I wanted you to know as soon as I knew 100% that this is how I felt, that you need to find another partner, and I don't have one. I'm not looking for another partner. I just know you need somebody that's all in because I know you love it, and I don't want to go."
Yeah,
That's right.
And
That's right.
and I'm not and I left myself without a partner because I wasn't looking for another partner.
Yep.
I wasn't looking for a better partner.
Yeah.
I was just looking for a way out to where I didn't have to put that pressure on myself for the first time my whole life.
At least you did make the NFR. There's a lot of people
Yes.
never did.
3 times.
Yes,
3
I
times.
made it 3 more times than I ever thought I would.
That's right.
Yeah.
You know.
Are you still going to jackpot some close to home, or a rodeo close to home, or just train?
I'm going to go to the Clay Logan this weekend. I'm going to go, maybe, probably the BFI and stuff like that. Like, I have really good horses, but I'm just leaving for a month doesn't sound like a good time to me anymore.
And making this decision doesn't really act like you're quitting either.
No.
does it? I mean,
No, honestly,
you feel
I
good
feel
about
like
it.
I'm changing lanes, and this is something
Yeah.
I've wanted to do for a long time because I've had people tell me, "You need to quit riding colts. You need to quit riding young horses. You need to get you some practice horses." And they were not wrong by telling me that at all.
Yeah.
But those people are wired different than I am. And they're 100% right. That's what you have to do to be competitive.
Yeah.
But I'm not willing to do that. I love horses. I love going from not being able to touch one to a week later, I can open the gate and ride it out in the arena.
You like breaking colts.
I enjoy it, man. I love it. Like, I spend time with them.
Yeah.
I go out there, and I think there's nothing cooler than, when it's cold outside.
Getting
in the
on
winter.
one thing
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
buck.
When you
Like,
get on
yes,
one
sir.
and you throw your hand down and they got a
Yeah.
little hump in their back, and you're like, you know what, let's go sort this out.
Let's
Let's
have
take off for a while.
Yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of people don't like it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to push that on anybody, but I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't trade that for the world. And
So that's the love you have now.
I-
It went from rodeo and full time.
well, and I can do that and be with my kid. I can sleep in my bed every night. Billy Jack was nice enough to let me get me hooked up to show one of his customers' horses at the Clay Logan Futurity the other day, and I didn't do any good. Which I made the short round on her. She was a nice little 4-year-old. I got to ride her for about 10 days before that, and I was a couple points out of winning something.
Yeah.
And it sounds really stupid because I didn't win anything.
Yeah.
But I was a couple points out of placing.
Yeah.
And that thing paid $100,000, and I slept in my own bed that night.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
So you
Felt pretty
I
good.
didn't win
Felt pretty
100,000
good.
this year.
So you think you'll dive into the futurity world a little
I
bit
think
more?
so. I've got actually some the Van Dorns in Missouri. They sent me a nice little 4-year-old. They snaffle bitted her, and I've been healing her for the last month. I think they would like me to show her a little bit in the future. Kind of see how it goes, and I've got a 4-year-old of my own that I would like to show a little. I've got a couple 6-year-olds that are right there on the fence. They're good horses. I just don't know how they're going to mark and how the judges will like them, But it's something that I like it because I don't have to throw as fast as I can. If my horse does good, I'm going to be happy. It's just way, I don't know. I don't love the way that it's got where you have to go so fast all the time because that's not my style at all. I'm just not that kind of guy. I don't have the right.
I've seen you throw pretty fast.
I just, my dad taught me when I was a little. He's like, hey, no time wins no money.
Yeah.
You go be smart, do your job. And here the last year, I've missed more than I've ever missed in my career.
Just taking shots.
Just taking shots that I don't want to
Yeah.
take anyway. And I'm like, man, this is hard for me.
It seems like you got to go at them all.
Every time.
You
Every
just it used to with the jackpot, even the BFI. It
The
was
jackpot is.
yes. I'm gonna go make 6 good runs. Yeah.
Than the rodeos.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not going to get any slower. It doesn't seem
No,
like
these guys are good.
they're good, and not just the guys that are currently going. The youth. I mean,
The people that you've never heard of will beat you every day,
yes.
and there's more of them coming.
Yeah, so the youth of rodeo and team roping seems bigger than it's ever been.
Yes.
And they seem way more talented than we ever were at that age.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think is driving this boom of this youth? And how are they so much better than we were at their age? Let's be honest.
Well,
I mean,
I think they're what they have access to is the main thing.
Way beyond what we had.
For sure.
Yeah.
Even the dummies are better.
Yeah.
The roping footage that they watch.
Yeah.
I remember whenever I was a kid, if you wanted to watch the best guys,
Yeah.
you drove to Oklahoma City and you watched the Open.
Yeah. Or you got your
And,
VHS
and
tape.
when you got the
BFI tape.
when you
wore
got
it
the
out.
BFI
Oh,
in the
yeah.
mail,
Yeah.
you watched
Christmas.
it. You watched it every day.
Every day.
Me and my dad, we would go practice. We never had an arena at the house, but we would go practice, and we would come home. And if we had a bad night, he'd be like, "Well,
Let's watch it.
let's go watch that BFI, and we'll just figure it out." You know.
Yeah.
And he was doing everything he knew to help me,
Yeah.
but we were both like, "I guess let's go turn the BFI on. Let's watch how these boys do it."
Yeah. Well, and that's like, I mean, you're not a social media guy. You don't have a lot of social media. And even kids today, if they want to watch Tyler Worley heal,
Yeah.
have never met you in person, never seen you in person, they can go find a way to watch you heal and figure out how you do it.
Yes.
And the idea that all that information's at their fingertips for everybody
Right.
is nuts.
Well, and it's good and bad. There's still a video floating around of me roping a leg to win the U.S. Open, and that was 11 years ago.
Been there.
Maybe. I'm like,
Yeah.
will this video go away? There's a Brazilian site or something that shared
Yeah.
it or something like that.
Oh,
They
yeah.
don't even speak English, and they know that's me that missed.
For sure. It happens. It happens. When you were a kid, how did you get started in team roping?
My dad always roped. I remember I was probably in third grade when I caught my first steer heading, and I was under strict orders not to dally.
Yeah.
My horse was 20 something years old. My saddle was loose, and I roped the steer around a half head, dropped the coals on the horn, held the tail, and reined out. And about pulled my saddle off.
Yeah.
I got in trouble, but I was like, I was hooked. From then on, I was all in.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
That was it. When you were a kid, I mean, what's the average day in the life look like for you? Like, how did you get? Obviously, you're one of the best healers in the world, and I know we probably don't have time for the whole story from when you were 12 on.
Right.
But a day in the life is Tyler Worley when he's 14 years old, dreaming of the NFR. What's it look like?
Honestly, like I said, we didn't have an arena. We had 4 or 5 horses, kind of at all times, and it was pretty much the same horses from the time I was little until I went to college. And I would stay at home when I was old enough to stay at home and not have to work. I think I got a job when I was probably 14. My uncle has a tire shop there in Berryville, and I worked there. I wasn't old enough to change tires, which I really wanted to do. You had to be 18 to do that, but I was the weed eater.
Okay.
And I went around and weed eated. And but before that, I would stay home. I would watch the BFI, either 99 or 2000, no particular order, because Charles and Britt won both.
Scooter.
And I would watch the BFI, and then I would go outside and put my goat on the stake and heal my goat. And then I would get really hot, and she would stop running from me, and I would go inside and lay under the fan and watch a couple more rounds, and then give her a break. I'd go back out there, and I'd do it again all day long.
Yeah.
That's what I did. That's all I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I think the knowledge and the resources the kids have now is awesome, but I think too it's to a fault. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't have that much knowledge about anything. All I wanted to do was rope, and I know kids want it like that now, but it's so easy for them to just be like, "Oh, hey, here's a really good dummy. Let's go, rope, or let's watch YouTube videos."
You've always been a person that I think has always tried to figure out a way to get better,
Right? Yeah.
and that's what drove you when you was a kid. The way I
Yeah,
see
for
it.
sure. Yeah. I just wanted to. I wanted to feel like I could catch no matter what, and I still don't feel like that. I'm still working on that. But what I love about what I'm doing right now is, with riding young horses and
You see more progress.
I see more progress.
Yeah.
And at home, it doesn't matter if I catch or not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go headbutt the tack room. I missed 2 in a row now.
Yeah.
Because it's okay. My horse got better. Before, I was kind of a psychopath about it.
Yeah, we was talking about the story where
Yeah.
you legged at
Yeah,
Cowtown
at North Side, yes.
to get together the American, and you came home that night. You had the headlights
Yeah,
shining on
At TG's
on the
house.
hawks,
Yeah.
and you were out there just wearing your shoulder out.
yeah,
Was-
yeah. That was a pretty new shoulder then.
Yeah,
But no, it bothered me whenever I would mess up, and I knew that like I would catch him the next time, and I'd made a stupid mistake, and most of it came with riding my horse. I was in a bad spot.
yeah,
That's one thing that TG taught me is, you you get in the same spot a lot, you're going to catch a lot.
Yeah.
And ride in good position. And
That's
what
hard
to take.
That's what dove you in
Yes.
to the horse
Yes.
horse side of it.
Yes. Which before that I lived with Billy Jack working for Duke Dixon and Mike Flowers at Dixon Flowers Quarter Horses. And I was living with Timmy actually. Timmy was nice enough to let me move in. I didn't have a place to stay. And I remember we got some horses from Bob Loomis, I'm sorry. And they were 2-year-olds. And we rode these horses and I'm like, Billy, these horses are awesome.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
this is what people ride. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
they can do. I didn't know horses could do that.
Yeah. You had
But
the
we
same
had-
four.
we
You
had-
had the same four growing
I
up.
mean,
Yeah.
mine, we're doing
And-
both ends,
yeah.
and they're not great.
Yeah.
At one.
Yeah.
I mean, we're having the time of our life.
Yeah.
That's right.
I'll ride anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a flip.
Oh my
switch
gosh!
flip.
And
Yeah.
and I'm like, I didn't even know horses could do this stuff.
Yeah.
And these horses were so smart. They were beautiful. They rode great. Anything you told them to do, they were like, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah.
In mine, I'm like, trying to get them in the box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like it was almost like I had barely dipped my toe into what these horses are capable of, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, this can
Way
be
different.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I had no idea. It made me realize how little I knew about horses.
Yeah.
Well,
There's a lot you got to learn when you first get out there and want to do it. I mean, who's some of the guys when you think about your circle that were there for you when you first, like they were teaching you things, right?
Yeah.
They were the ones that, like, honestly, if they weren't around, you weren't listening or paying attention to, who knows where we'd be. I mean, who was in your circle when you first came out of college and was trying to do it?
Well, like I said, in college, I was there with Billy Jack. We were every day together. Kale and all you guys kind of let me in your group there and roped with me. And then when I moved to Stephenville, I lived with Zach Small.
Okay.
And then Zach was going to vet school, so Travis Graves called me. I told Zach, I said, hey, if Travis needs a header over there, you tell him that I'll head for him. and I don't even have a head horse.
You just wanted to be around it.
I have a heel horse.
Yeah.
I have a heel horse and a green heel horse that's just
That's
okay.
right. You were willing.
And I was like, I
wanna be
don't
around
know how I'm going to do it, but
right.
I'll do it. Let's do this. So I remember I was at Buck and Duck on Wednesday night. I'm at the 12th slide. I'm riding my best horse that I have. And I'm entered as many times as I can afford. And Travis texted me and said, hey, do you want to come head some tomorrow at 9? And I just texted him, yes, I'll be there. And mind you, I don't have a head horse. So I get Zach's practice head horse. I get 2 of them from Judd Jackson next door.
Okay.
I go to Jake Fong's and I maybe pick up a couple more. And then I take something else over there. Yeah. And Zach's trailer, because my trailer's not big enough to haul them all. I had a 3-horse. And I show up to TG's saddle.
Hey, what was it like pulling down the driveway down that hill?
I was just like, this is heaven.
Yeah.
This is where I need
And
to
you
be.
were an aspiring healer,
I was a healer.
but you were fixing to go
Did
head
not
for
care.
somebody that's done it
Did
for a
not
living.
care.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to see what this guy's all about. And I don't know TG at all.
Yeah.
So long story short, I end up riding like 2 horses because he didn't have that many heel horses. I'm ready to rope like
You're thinking
I'm gonna rope till the next morning.
Yes.
I'll rope
Until he says quit.
until you quit bringing them back. I'm gonna keep riding in the head box. So, anyways, it ended up I kept going over there, and one day we were out of head horses, and he had this set of muleys he was wanting to rope, and he had actually called me, or he'd actually asked me if I would move in with him and help him get ready for the NFR. And I told him I was going back to Arkansas or something. I don't remember what I had going on. Probably wanted to go duck hunting or something. And I was like, that was a big regret for me because I called him later on and I was like, hey, do you have a job? Do you still need me? And he was like, man, I hired Buddy. Yeah. And I thought that'll never happen again. Yeah. If somebody asks me to do something, I'm going to say yes. Yeah. So anyways, after this, I went back over and headed for him some, and we didn't have a head horse. And he's like, hey, I want to rope these muleys. Do you got something you can head on? And I had bought a horse from a buddy of mine up here, actually in Kansas. And he was a 3-year-old little black horse, cool little horse, but didn't know much, just been ranched on. And I was like, yep, I got a head horse.
Yeah.
Never been roped on. I mean,
we'll figure it out.
Sure.
Yeah, I was there. I witnessed.
Yeah, like I got one. And That was his first day. Fresh muleys on a 3-year-old. Day one, back him in there, cock it, and across the line we go and rein him off. And that horse got more runs than I'd like to admit
Yeah.
for the next 3 years, and I sold him as a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
And actually, a little boy rides him now, and he's great. He shouldn't be, but he is.
Yeah.
But that horse, that $3,000 that I give for that horse, I thought, this is my rent. This is my investment. I'm going to use this horse, and that's how I'm going to pay my way down here. And I ended up, TG asked me to move in with him a second time.
If you had midnight.
Yeah.
If you had
much.
midnight.
If I'll head for you,
Yeah.
I can live here. I don't have to pay rent.
Yeah.
And I didn't heal that much, but the runs that I got to watch and the things that I got to watch, and when we were done, he would rope the dummy with me or something. And I probably asked him too many questions, but I just was so hungry for knowledge, because from where I come from, there was nobody. You know, there's people that rope good. They still rope good. But it was like when you get to a certain level.
Like I want to be beyond this.
I remember watching the BFI and stuff, and I remember going to the, to Oklahoma City to watch the U.S. finals. And I remember when I was probably 10, 12 years old. Now I was probably 10. Going to Cattleman's after the U.S. Open, and Speed and Rich were in there, and I could not believe I was that close to him. I wanted to go up and just stand next to him, like, man, are these guys real?
Yeah.
But it was just like, it was almost like it was unreal expectations to even be in the same room with these guys. And then I'm like, Travis wants me to live at his house, like, and all I gotta do is head.
Yeah.
I'll head all day, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'll clean the stalls, I'll mow the yard. Like, come on.
We do what we have to do to make it work. Aspiring healer, can't wait to be around one of the best healers, even if I have to head to be around it, so I can learn how he does it to do what
Sacrifice.
he did. Yes.
Yeah. I remember the first year that I made the finals, 2019. We went to break in the NFR steers at Bobby Joe Hill's house, and for some reason I was roping with Tate at the finals, and he couldn't go. And Douglas Rich was living with Paul, and he was there heading.
Yeah.
So
I healed for him. Yeah. And it was kind of funny. It was like I remember the same thing when they had the ERA a couple years before that. We went to break the steers in. I was living at TG's house in his apartment, and we went down there to Hamilton. I can't remember whose place we went to, but all the ERA guys were there and me.
Yeah.
And I'm heading for these guys.
Yeah.
And I'm running a lot more than most people on one horse. Yeah. And just if they'll let me ride in there, I'm going to run in there. Yeah. But it was like, it was kind of eye-opening to me, because it was like, man, I love it when people are like that. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. Sure. When you want to rope, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it just means you were willing to do whatever it took to get better.
I mean,
at the end of the day,
absolutely.
I just think that if
be a sponge,
and that's kind of where I was. When I got to the point at the end of this year, I kind of looked back on it and I was like, I don't feel that way about rodeoing anymore. I still get excited to wake up in the morning and go out and feed. And then let those horses hurry up and get done so I can get on something.
Yeah.
That I look forward to that now, and being home with my kid. Yeah. I'm not worried if I get more competitive anymore. Like before, that was all I was worried about. Now it's like, man, I want to make these horses as good as I can, because I think I can do it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can do it, but I think I can do it. If this is what I put all my time into it, I know I'm not going to be one of the best healers of all time. That's okay. Yeah. But I might be able to train a heel horse with one of the best guys, Joseph and Colin and Billy Jack, and even
there's a shortage of guys like you that's willing to ride 2-year-olds. And that's a lifestyle.
Yes. Yes.
For you. I mean, that's something that you should be proud of, and you are proud of it. Yeah. And there's room for it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, not a lot of people want to do it, and it's like all the stuff that most people don't like doing, like the slow work.
Yeah.
Not swinging a rope. Leaving your rope on the saddle. I love it, man. I don't have any problem with it. Sometimes I'll take horses to people's house and just ride around.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. It's just something that I feel like I understand a little more than like the rodeo deal.
Yeah.
You know, I can feel like
You feel like you have a purpose.
I do, and I feel like I get better every day doing it. I feel like when I ride all my young horses, my older horses get better.
Yeah.
And that's exciting to me because I just think that if you're willing to learn from something that's 2 years old,
Yeah.
like you never know what they're going to teach you.
Yeah. You have to be able to learn your entire life.
Yes,
Period.
you do. And I got to a point where with my roping where I was like, I just don't want to drive all night.
Yeah.
I don't want to be away from my family. I felt bad for my partners because I knew where my heart was.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I've told everybody, you don't realize how all in you have to be.
Oh yeah.
It has to be the number one thing on your mind, you know, and I don't want my wife and my kid to take a backseat to that.
Yeah.
And there's ways you don't have to, you know, you don't have to be a bad person to rodeo. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's my priorities have changed, and I finally found a way out for me to where I could do something that my heart was 100% in.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's room for me to get better. I got to a spot in my roping where I felt like I was close to the top, but I wasn't getting better.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like, I already won more than I thought I ever would. Yeah. And I didn't know really how to go about getting to the next level from where I was. And it just seemed like I was going to have to make another big commitment to get to that point. And I think it was going to keep me in it longer than I wanted to be. I wanted to be to step away kind of on my own terms and be like, hey, I want to be done.
Yeah. And you should be very proud of the
100%. You keep saying you're not.
You're never
one of the best healers ever. Yeah. You are one of the best healers ever.
Tyler Wade
made it
told
for
me
3 times.
Well, right. Well, Tyler Wade told me, he said, "Look, man, you're never going to win as much as you think you wanted to."
Yeah.
He said, "I've got 2 gold buckles, and that's not enough."
Yeah.
And I said, "Okay, that's all I need to hear."
Well, let's talk about 2019 for a second. So, like, that's the first year you made the NFR, right?
Yes.
Okay. What did it feel like to get that monkey off your back? Because as a kid, you've dreamed the NFR, you've dreamed all these things, you've worked your butt off, you've been around TG, you've learned horses from Billy Jack, you're just being a sponge, you're working your tail off. Okay?
Right.
Made the NFR in 2019. The monkey's off the back.
Right.
What did that feel like?
Man, honestly, when I got in, I was in San Bernardino, California, and I flew back all night. We run a steer we didn't catch. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I rode in. Billy Jack had a rental car. It was a Jaguar, and it was the first car I've ever been in. Hey,
of course, Billy Jack.
It was the first car I've ever been in that shut off at the stoplight. And I'm like, dude, all my rigs that shut off, we're walking. We're walking. Yeah. So I remember there was me, there was Billy Jack, Tyler Wade, Jake Cooper, Caleb Anderson, Jeff Flanagan, and myself. That's a lot of people. I'm in the hatchback going through LA, me and Jeff, and I'm laying back there, and I'm just the happiest guy on the planet. I'm like, if you wreck, you can't hurt me right now. Like, dude, I'm going to the finals. Like, I'm beside myself. So I get in there, I get a little sick on planes. We get to the airport, I take a Dramamine. It's like 1 a.m. And I remember Billy Jack has to wake me up to get on the plane. And we fly back, get back to DFW, go home to my house. I get to be home for like an hour, and we got to go to Apache. I rope a leg at Apache, still don't care, still made the finals.
Yeah.
I'll never be sad again for the rest of my life. And then I go to Arkansas immediately, and I don't rope for like a week. I'm just hanging out, just riding my buddy's colts. Like, I don't want to rope. You just saddle me something and I'll ride it. I just want to take a break. Like, it was so stressful, but I was so relieved. It was like the most relief I've ever felt.
Yeah, you was glad to get back home for a little bit.
Glad to just take a break. I wanted to step away. I did a little deer hunting. I just hung out, man. And it was I needed to because I was on edge for like the last 2 weeks right there because it was one of those deals where you don't know if it's possible. But then, hey, I'm in the mix. Like San Juan, we won second. I won like $8,000.
I remember that.
one of the best runs I've ever made in my life.
Yep.
And then it's like, I'm right there on the bubble, and then it's like, oh, congratulations, you won 8,000. Now you're 14th.
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, dang, why couldn't I be 8th?
Well, but that was the year. Also, Billy Jack and you, as close friends, have been your whole life.
Yes.
He ended up finishing like 16th or 17th, just outside of making the NFR.
Yeah.
And you're with him in that moment. But you guys have such a good relationship. What do you like? One of the first guys congratulate you?
Yeah,
and call you and offer his horse and everything. Like, what kind of brotherhood is that for somebody to be on the outside?
I can't remember if he called me or if I was talking. I remember he told me, he's like, hey, congrats.
Yeah.
You did it. You're in. And I was like, are you sure? He said, I had to win first everywhere I went. And maybe they didn't catch one at Poway that day. Because I had 7 rodeos the last week. I went everywhere. I mean, I didn't catch hardly any. I didn't catch one since I went to Texarkana. And I've been across the United States. Like, I went everywhere, and I ain't caught one since we left Texas.
In the back of a Jaguar?
Who cares? But anyways, Billy Jack was like, no, I think maybe Brady Minor had figured it too, which everybody kind of relies on him. Like, he always knows the numbers, and he's really close in the payoffs. And Billy Jack told me, I can't win enough. And Peyton Bray was on the bubble too, and he said he can't win enough at Stephenville tomorrow to beat you.
Jump you.
Yeah. And he was like,
You're in.
He said, I know you're in. And I said, well, I appreciate it, but I'm not going to believe it until tomorrow.
Yeah. That says a lot about a guy, though, that knows he's out. He's done the math. He knows he's out.
He's okay
he
with
knows
it.
you're in.
Whether he's not okay with
and
it
he's
or
happy
not,
for you.
he's still happy for me.
Yeah.
And he's been like my big brother, like I was with him kind of, when Dixon Flowers, they'd been going on for a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like we learned a lot together.
Yeah.
And he helped me with my roping a lot, and we were just there together every day, like kind of pushing each other.
Yeah.
And he told me actually that night, he was like, hey, I think your horse is really good, but if you need mine, she's going to be out there.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I ended up riding her. And Billy Jack told me before the finals, he said, hey, if your horse is strong at home, that's perfect. He'll be great there.
Yeah.
My horse was really strong at home. And I'm like, sweet, we're going to win a lot.
Yeah.
And then when I got in front of about 6 cows in a row, I'm like, maybe I should make a horse change. Like, maybe I should try staying behind him. And so I called, actually my wife called Billy or texted him. She's like, do you think he should get on sugar? And Billy's like, yeah, but I'm not telling him that.
Yeah.
And for some reason, I thought I missed one, and I'm like, screw this.
Give me sugar.
I'm riding sugar.
Oh, yeah.
So I just called him, and he was like, oh, let's do it. He was excited about it. So then it was just awesome. And
what's it like riding the Thomas and Mack for your first one? I mean, you can't really explain it. Nobody can really prepare you for it.
Yeah.
And, you've got Billy and these guys that have told you what it's going to be like. But what's it like opening night, round 1? Riding through that tunnel, getting up to the front, people yelling at you. You only have so long before you better nod. Go, go, go.
The grand entry's probably up.
The grand entry is one of the funnest things
You carried the flag, right?
Yes, I got to carry the Arkansas flag. I got to carry the Arkansas flag 2 out of the 3 times, and it was awesome. I've actually got it's kind of cool. My father-in-law, Bobby Hurley, he carried the Arkansas flag.
Okay.
And we've got a couple of our pictures. I've got a picture of my first finals carrying the Arkansas flag, and then we've got pictures of Bobby carrying the flag.
That's neat.
And I mean, to me, that's really cool because, growing up, Bobby was like the guy from Arkansas.
For sure.
Like, we didn't know anyone like
Absolutely.
that. And then you got Bobby Hurley, and then I got my picture next to him, and which it's my father-in-law now, and it's still surreal, but it's just one of those things that you can't even put words to. Like, everybody says, man, them steers run. You just can't believe how hard they leave the box, and they ain't lying. I mean, I don't start off the corner anywhere, and if they'd let me start in the arena, I would have done it. No matter how fast your horse is, no matter what you got going on, you can't get there fast enough.
Well, you made it again in 2020, right? So you're 2 years in a row.
Yes.
That year you roped with Jeff Flanagan.
Yes.
You roped with him throughout the year?
I roped with him in 19 also during the year.
Okay.
I roped with Matt Sherwood in the winter of 19. We did some good, but Jeff and I had already talked about roping.
Okay.
And I actually left it on Sherwood. I said, hey, I'm not going to cut you. I want to rope with you as long as you want to rope with me. Jeff asked me to rope, but Matt had told me he kind of wanted to maybe not go.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to leave this up to you. If you want to go, I would love to rope with you. But if you don't, I have another option. And he said, you need to rope with Jeff. He's young. He wants to do it. I don't really know where I'm at. And I said, okay, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So,
you and Jeff roped in 2020.
Jeff and I roped in 2020 also.
During COVID.
Yes.
Was that weird or?
It was awful.
Yeah, it's at Globe Life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're one of the only guys to ever run an NFR steer at Globe Life.
Yeah, it was cool.
And had a good finals.
I had a
Yeah,
good
the place
one.
is 6 rounds, second in the average. I mean, what did you learn from your first NFR that you took into the second NFR?
Honestly, I rode my horse Bon Jovi, and he's been the biggest blessing that that my family's ever got. He's just been. He's 17 years old. He just had surgery the other day. We took his splint bone out because he somehow broke it kicking the fence or jacking around. And I told my wife, I said, if I never run another steer on this horse, I'm fine with it.
He was a freak.
I'll move him into the house.
Yeah.
I don't care. And so it's kind of in that setup, as fast as he was, it was like stealing.
Yeah.
Like it seemed
Around
like the steers were strong and they were way out there, and that's not normal.
Yeah.
That's not, and he was perfect.
Yeah.
For there. Like it did not feel hard on him. Yeah. It felt like I finally got to let him go as fast as he's been wanting to go for a long time. And so it just felt like I had the perfect setup for it.
Yeah.
And it was
Did you guys go home every day?
I did. I actually took Judd Jackson with me every day, and he lives next to me, and it was kind of funny. He said, your helper's supposed to do something. I would literally leave my house, go the wrong way, pick him up.
Yeah.
Get our grand
It's
entry
kind of like
horse.
riding over to North Side.
Yeah, and I would get there. I would saddle both of our horses.
Yeah.
And then we would go in there, and I would just give him crap like, "Are you not going to saddle these horses?" He's like, "No, I'm not going to." But I mean, it was like he's one of my best friends. They're like family to us. We actually live next door to him now, and man, that was one of the coolest memories that I'm going to have. Just
it was kind of a great deal.
It was
to be able to
awesome.
rope at Globe Life.
Yeah, and we got to go home every day, and every morning about 10 o'clock, it was pretty chilly outside. I would saddle Bon Jovi, and we would go. We'd go rope the Smarty, and that horse had to be tired.
Yeah,
he's 17, and he still needed to be tired, and that was the mix he needed.
Yeah,
he needed to get rode every day before.
It worked out perfect.
It was perfect.
Yeah,
but you paid for it the next time you made the NFR.
Yes,
with the shooting and
not
knowing and all.
Yeah,
I
did.
Yeah. It's great. A day in the life in Vegas versus
at
Globe
my
Life.
house.
It's a little different. Like, what is a day like out there for contestant at the NFR? I mean, what you probably don't get to go run a lot of practice steers anywhere, or do you a little bit?
No, I never practiced.
Some people do.
Some people do, but honestly, the first year I went out there, we kept our horses in. It was in like California. It was a long ways away. I went out there one time to drop my horse off, and I'm like, Bambi was taking care of it, and I'm like, see you when we go home, I guess.
Yeah.
Because I am not driving back out here. It was a long ways.
Yeah.
And actually, my AC went out in my truck whenever I got to Vegas the first year. So I'm like, well, this seems about right. But I would just get up, and I didn't have a coffee pot in my room, so I would go downstairs and in the Cosmopolitan, which
get a $9 coffee.
Yeah, I get a $25 coffee and something that I've never ate in my life.
Yeah.
Try to eat it. And see all these people walking around in slacks and no socks. And
that's right.
I don't even know if I can have.
You didn't fit in very well.
I feel out of place at the MGM, let alone the Cosmopolitan. And so it's just, I would just as fast as I could get up. And the first few days, I drove to the convention center. That was a bad idea.
Yeah.
So then I figured out how to Uber. That was my first time Uber. Was in Vegas.
It's closer to.
I would just go sign, come back, and actually John Paul Fowler was there with Travis Graves.
Yeah.
And me and him would ride into the rodeo every night. We'd drive my truck, and we had a blast. Yeah. We had so much fun.
So you made it in 19. You make it in 20. Probably think at that time, Man, I made it. I'm
never gonna
top
miss
of
the
the. I'm
finals
never
ever.
going to not go.
Yeah, as long as I go. Yeah.
Little whoopsie. 21, 22, we don't make it.
Yep.
Okay. 23, which we're going to talk about that. 'cause
We kind of did.
Quite the story.
Yeah.
23. We're going to
Right.
dig into that a little bit more. But what are those 2 years? I mean, paint the picture. There's kids that are aspiring to do what you do
Yeah.
that don't understand. That people don't ever talk about that part.
Yeah. No.
You made the NFR, making NFR, have a couple off years.
Yeah.
Something happens, it just doesn't click, doesn't work, but you keep grinding, you keep working, and in 23 you make it back.
Yeah.
What did you learn in that 2-year stint
Man,
that helped propel you back? I mean, how'd you climb back?
I'd struggled with my horse in 19 and 20, which I just got him in 19, and he was always wanted to be a little on the muscle. And I got him from Chase Trine, and I told Chase Trine one of the first times I seen him. I actually in 2018 I won second at the BFI with Bubba Buckaloo, and I needed another horse, and I asked Chase if he would sell that horse, and he said he didn't want to sell him, and I said, hey, if you ever do, will you please give me a call? I'd love a chance to buy it.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, I just liked him.
Yeah.
And he called me in 2019, or he told me during Salinas, we were going to eat some seafood or something, and he said, hey, I'm going to sell that horse if you're interested. And I said, when can I try him? He said, well, he's in Helena. So I left Deadwood, South Dakota, driving to Joseph, Oregon, maybe, and went through Helena. So I don't know if anybody knows. That's not really on the way.
Okay,
Way out of the way.
Okay.
And I wasn't even going to Joseph then. I was going to Jeff Flanagan's house in Caldwell, Idaho. So really, I'm not really going on the way. But I'm like, hey, I'm going to go ride this horse. And I'm going to buy it.
Yeah.
I don't have any money, but I'm going to buy this
I'm going
horse.
to find a way.
I don't care. I'll borrow the money. That's fine. So, anyways, I ride the horse. I run 3 or 4 steers on him. I'm heeling for Chase's mom. The horse doesn't have shoes on. He's fat. He's out of shape. And I said, I'll take him. I said, give me a couple days because I can't pay you.
Yeah.
But
I'll figure it out.
And actually, my aunt loaned me the money.
Yeah.
And we bought the horse. And I didn't know how I was gonna do it. And she actually called me and she said, hey, I want to help you out. I can loan you the money.
Yeah.
Let's buy that horse. If you think this is what we need, let's do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kind of prayed about it, and I was like, look, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but let's do it.
And that's Bon Jovi. That's
Bon Jovi. Yes,
the horse that changed your life.
Yes, the horse that changed my life, and now we bought his mom from Canada. She's 25 years old, and I've got actually a full sibling to him, and she's tiny, like she's like a large pony.
Yeah.
She actually got West Nile this year, and she looked like we were going to lose her, and we got her back.
How old is she?
She's 3 now.
3.
I started her last spring, and she's really wild. If you can get on her, you're good. But I'm just saying, she's just so wild on the ground. But that's okay. I'll keep her forever. You know what I mean? It's one of those deals where it's like, you know what, this horse means more to me than anything, and I'm just excited to have one that's a full sibling that I can get some babies out of.
Yeah.
If I never rope on her, that's fine. I'll just keep her for a broodmare.
So there's 2 little hotline subjects for about 2023.
Yeah.
Right? So let's start with the first one. So you weren't even sure you were in the NFR. They said you were. Then you weren't. Then you were. Then you and Colby Payne. So Colby Payne had entered too many rodeos and didn't know it.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and so when they told him, "Hey, the Governor's Cup, right? Wasn't it?
Yes.
Didn't count for him,
Right.
which propelled you. He would have passed you, and you'd have been 16th.
Yes.
But they didn't get to count that.
He would have been 17th, I
Okay.
believe, because he won 10,000.
Okay.
Dylan Graham would have been 16th.
Okay, so that was the difference. Him being in or out was
Yes,
counting that rodeo,
yes.
and they decided not
He
to count
won
it.
the first round, and that was 10,000. Because I had people calling me this week prior to that, and was like, "Man, congrats, you did it!" And I was like 10th or 11th, and I was like, "Man, no,
Not saying.
With
No.
Governor's Cup, anything can
No.
happen.
because I didn't get in, and I was still going to some rodeos, but I was like, man, it's not done yet. Like, and it was crazy. I remember we was at New Braunfels and we was watching the final night of the Governor's Cup, and I think there was 5 guys that could beat me or something, and they all 5 did or something.
Typical. Went 5 for 5.
Good job, Tyler. You could have caught one somewhere else, but you didn't, and now you're in this spot. You went all year, and the very last night, somebody's going to bump you out, or the night before. And ended up, I was at New Braunfels. We didn't catch. Jake Clay actually is one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. He headed the steer, and he gets his rope under his right leg, and he tries to dally. Luckily, he loses his rope. He's gonna kill himself. Yeah. And he's like, "Man, I'm sorry." And I said, "Don't die for me. Like, you're fine, dude. Don't kill yourself." Like he was in bind.
Yeah. But at that point, he was already in, right? He knew he was in, right?
Yes. If I would have won, I needed to win 900
to be for certain
to get ahead of Colby. I needed to win $900, and so. Don't catch.
What was Jake Clay's option to rope with if you didn't make it? Did he have a plan at all, or did he just kind of hang loose? Peyton Bray.
I think.
Yeah.
Because Colby was going to rope with Clay.
Okay.
And so we're driving back from New Braunfels, and I'm kind of like trying to figure this deal out. Like, I was going to fly out there to Mona. I had Mona, Utah.
Yeah.
The next night, and I'm in South Texas.
Yeah.
And I wasn't going to ride my horse out there because I was really hoping that I wouldn't need it. Yeah. I was hoping I could turn it out.
Yeah.
And, then I'm like, yes. Yeah. We were flying out the next morning. And my buddy Judd, the same one that went with me to the finals in 20, he said, "Are we driving to Mona?" He called me immediately.
What is that? 14, 15
17
hours?
17
hours.
Yeah.
Okay, 7.5 hours.
And
1,200 miles.
I said, "Judd, I can't make it. Like, I'm not going to get home in time to leave and get there." He said, "I didn't ask if you were driving it. I asked if we're driving it. Do I need to take a horse out there?" And I was like...
He wanted you to be able to ride your horse.
Yes, he did. But I had Bon Jovi with me.
Yeah.
I had just bought a horse from T. Woolman.
Okay.
And I was like, "Man, I'm not going to ask you to do that.
Yeah.
I'll be fine." And he's like, "I'm not asking if you want me to do that. I'm asking if we're doing it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said,
because you were going to fly to Mona. Bon Jovi was going to go home with someone else.
I was taking him home, but I couldn't physically make it with him to the rodeo.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough time.
Yeah.
So I said, "Well, I guess if you don't care, my truck's at the house. Get it on." And he said, "I'm going to jump through the shower and I'll head that way."
So he grabs your new horse.
He grabs my new horse.
Yeah, he takes your
and
trailer.
He's never been to a rodeo. Yeah. He's never been to a rodeo. So,
I thought it was crazy. Maybe he was going to drive 17 hours. It's actually crazier that a horse has never been to a rodeo.
Which he's old. I mean, he's not a young.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a great.
You knew he was.
And I'm like, he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I think that was his first rodeo. Yeah. And so he drives all the way there, and I fly over there, and I've been waiting for this opportunity my whole life. I need to win $900. The rodeo's easy. Catch 2 feet and make the national finals.
Yeah.
Nobody can take that away from you ever for the rest of your life. This is the biggest steer I've ever run in my life. And I'm so excited. Like, I can't sleep. Yeah. I can't rest. I want to run this steer. And we get over there, and Jake Clay drills the barrier. The steer literally trots. He trots, and Jake puts one of the loudest head loops on him I've ever heard. It breaks the steer into a lope. I turn, first jump. I have to be like 7 to make the national finals, and I'm like, I got this sucker. And I heel him. I heel him right there. I get 2 feet. I pull my slack up. I'm like, yes. I go to Dally, and he pulls a leg, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? And instantly, it's just like the worst feeling I've ever had in my life.
No oxygen. Just.
I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should just put my rope around my neck and fall off my horse. I don't know. Like, I just don't know how to react. I've never felt like this in my whole life. And Judd, which we're really close, and I get back to the trailer, and he's like, "Man, I'm sorry. You healed the crap out of this year." I'm like,
and you already knew Colby,
and so
Colby
I knew
had already.
From my understanding, I was out.
Yeah,
I was 16th.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man,
that's the last one you run for 23.
That
was it.
That was the last year.
And Colby had already won.
Yep. Colby and some other guys, Torres and some of them other guys did good at Sioux Falls. I just didn't even know how to react. And
So you fixed to drive 17 hours home after slipping a leg.
Judd said, "I'm not driving back," and I said, "I will buy your plane ticket."
Okay.
But so I'm by myself. I've got my truck and a stock trailer, and I just take off driving. And I've got people calling me, man, I'm sorry.
It's a long drive home.
It's a long drive home, and I don't even know how to react at this point. I'm just driving because you can't draw up a better situation. Like
Rope 2 feet, go the other
you
far.
could not make a better story. Like I've been wanting to be in this situation my whole life.
You've ran that steer a million times.
I've ran that steer a million times, and now looking back, I know I'm probably never going to run that steer again, and I didn't catch him.
And Jake Clay did.
Jake Clay did as good of a job
as anyone
not on
could
his
have done.
horse
Yeah.
that he could have done. He could not have done a better job on the best steer, and it was just like, man,
You honestly thought it wasn't meant to be.
it broke my heart. As bad as sad as that sounds, that was as tore up as I've ever been, and I knew I was like, well, I'm supposed to have faith. Maybe I'm not supposed to go.
Wasn't meant to be.
Maybe one of those other guys is in a worse position than me,
Yeah.
and they needed to go more than I
right.
did. And I'm like, you know what? I got to live with it.
That's how you dealt with it.
Yeah.
That's the only way I dealt with it.
You figured a lot of things out on that 17-hour drive home by yourself talking.
God, I don't know why you did why this worked out this way, but all I can do is trust you that you know better than me, and this is the way it's supposed to be. And then I'm checking my emails the next morning, which I don't really do emails.
Yeah. I could kind of see that.
I mean, I get them, but
Don't read them.
I make sure that the notification goes off because I don't like having unread notifications on my phone.
Just
That's
get the
the
bubble
only reason I do. The only ones I read are from like Bass Pro or Cabela, so and that's it. So I'm looking at my email and I'm like, what is this? Some kind of sick joke? Like it says, "Congratulations."
What's your jacket?
Yeah, wanting my jacket size and my ring size. And at this point, I'm already in New Mexico and I've already slept in the back seat all night.
And you've already been mad all night.
Freezing to death because I'm, sleeping in my back seat because I deserve it. I'm like, you could turn the heat on, but you don't rope good enough. You gotta be cold. So the next morning I'm driving through New Mexico and it's just like, all I'm looking at is dirt and rocks, and I'm already sad. And I get this email, and it's saying that I'm in, and I'm like,
What is going on?
Can you guys really not count? Like I know
I've done the math. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? It made me mad because I'm thinking,
Who was the first call right there? What did you do right then?
When you read that email.
When you read that email, like what?
I called Jake Clay, and I said, "Did you get this email?" And then I was gonna call. I talked to Torres.
Because he was for sure in.
He was for sure in. He said, "Yeah, I got it." And then I talked to Torres. Maybe I talked to Peyton Bray. I talked to a few other guys, healers that had made it.
They all got it.
They were like, "Yeah, I got it." And then Peyton's like, "Man, I think you're in."
Yeah.
And
Somebody called Colby Payne and see if he got the email.
well, and I was just like, this just doesn't seem right because to me, I've already messed up. I already lost my chance, and that's okay. But I don't get to go. I don't deserve to go. And then from then on, it was kind of
back and forth.
Yeah, well, like I kind of got a hold of maybe Steve Knowles, and I was like, "Hey, I got this email. I don't know. I don't know if it's a mess up, if they send it through the top 20, or if I don't know. I don't know what to think. I don't want to get my hopes up, but at the same time, it's like I shouldn't be getting this.
Yeah,
and so it ended up. We had to wait, but they were telling me they're like, no, I think Colby run out of rodeos. I think the Governor's Cup,
because that year you're only allowed to go to how many? 75 rodeos.
and they had told me
you're allowed to go to more than that. You can only count 75.
Yes, they said Colby the Governor's Cup was 76 for him. So
and he won 10 or 12,000.
He won 10,000 at the last rodeo. He caught the steer that he had to catch to make the national finals, and I didn't.
And you're in, and he's out.
Yeah.
But to me, that was kind of messed up. Which
you just find a way, don't you? You just always find a way to get in there.
Well, and I'm like, it's still like obviously I was glad to get to go, but they're like, okay, So now we have to. He filed a grievance or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he appealed it.
or something, and I'm like, yeah, that's perfect. Whatever.
don't blame
I
him.
don't blame the guy. So, because everybody kind of pitted like me against Colby in this deal, and it's like me and Colby were we were never unfriendly. Like,
No.
I don't know, but it was kind of an awkward time, but.
It's a big deal. I mean,
It's
he wants to go just as bad as you.
Yeah, it's a big deal. And they ended up they did his grievance hearing or whatever, and they said the way they worded it was that they were going to let him count 76 because they messed up on his count.
Yeah.
Well, I actually had to hire a lawyer because I'm like,
What do I do? Yeah.
I can't just not do anything.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And it was like they found some rule. Which those guys are awesome at their job, and they were in the rule book and doing all this, and it was they found a rule, and it stated that unless it's on paper or in writing, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Basically,
count.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was whether or not it was their screw up and they miscounted. It was
Still, the rule's a rule.
it was just the way the rule read.
So-
and so then I had to file agreements,
Yeah.
and we're like 2 weeks out.
That's what's curious.
And so they got to it pretty quick, and they voted that I was going to get to go. But the joke was when I got to the finals,
Yeah.
everybody like
wasn't Begay giving you a hard time? Like,
Yeah, Begay was
your
like-
name's still on the list?
he's like, well, you're still here. You're going to get to run one. And then there was somebody trying to shoot people in the Thomas and Mack. There was literally an active shooter, and I'm like, well, we're supposed to rip tomorrow night. Well, now we're not going to get. So they keep pushing it back, and I'm like, we got all kinds of stuff going on. Maybe I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Like, well, first before that, so from when you had to leave your house to there, how much notice did you really have? Like when they said, "Okay, come to the NFR."
I tell you, honestly, I did something.
A week?
Yeah, maybe. But what was really sad was I came up here and practiced with Jake Clay, and then I got home on like Saturday or Sunday. Well, on Monday they told me I wasn't going to get to go. So I'm the guy that drives 6 hours
To practice.
in NFR practices.
Yeah.
Is not going to go to the NFR, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" Like that's my biggest fear. Like nobody wants to be that guy.
Yeah.
So
So you finally get the call. You do get to go.
yes,
You're there preparing for the grand entry, and quite the situation happened.
Yes.
Active shooter on the University of Las Vegas campus, less than a half a mile away from Thomas and Mack.
yes.
Walk us through what was happening that moment.
Honestly, the first thing I was worried about was I wanted to know where my wife and my kid was. My mom and dad and my aunt, they're all out there, and they had went somewhere, and I just kind of called them, and I'm like, hey, I think there's an active shooter on campus. Like, where are you guys at? And they're like, well, we're at Walmart. We're on the other side of town. I'm like, okay, I ain't got to worry about them.
Yeah, because you don't have social media, so everybody around you is
Everybody's
telling
telling
you
me
what
they're
they're seeing.
like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
You guys were like practicing for the grand entry.
We were literally setting every contestant at the NFR setting in the arena. It's a tiny arena. We're literally setting in there like fish in a barrel.
And
I'm
active
like,
shooter goes off at the campus.
Let me out of here.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna like
Yeah.
serpentine pattern or like?
So what did they
just
do?
Run or? So honestly, we sat there.
Okay.
Everybody kind of got off their horse, and I did not.
Yeah.
Coulter Todd was sitting on his horse, and I thought, I'm going with this guy. If something happens, I'm going with him.
Yeah.
And we just sit there, and actually, like there was like police officers or SWAT or something, and they were like stationed up there in the concourse, and it was kind of crazy. I don't know. I think honestly, I really think it was somebody that maybe didn't speak English, like somebody that worked there.
Yeah.
And I heard them arrest somebody up there, and they're telling them to get on the ground and stuff. And
but
we
you
see them
didn't-
pointing guns. I don't know what.
But that moment, you don't know this could be the shooter up there.
I don't know if he's there. I don't know if it's.
AR rifles.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Not pistols.
Yeah.
It was pretty intense.
Wow. So they finally let you guys out of there, and that's the year they canceled round. They didn't cancel round when they postponed
They
it, right?
postponed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they ran it like
They run a matinee one day. They
Yeah,
ran a matinee.
I got to
one
go.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
you
was
only have
NFR
20
Slack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
it's-
great. But it was the best perf I've been.
The best perf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lee, could you imagine the money revenue that they lost by not
Oh,
having a
my
performance?
gosh.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think it just seemed kind of, I don't blame them at all for doing what they did. It would have been,
Yeah.
disrespectful to have the be like,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah.
I know this happened. We're still going to have the rodeo.
Yeah.
I think they did the right thing by postponing it, even if it only was for.
I don't think they had a choice.
No.
So you finally get through all that, and you're going to rope the NFR, and you're roping Jake Clay, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Jake Clay, lifelong friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Been there. You've been roping him in the year before, but didn't quite make it.
I roped with him the end of that year.
Okay.
Because he was roping with Colin Von On, I was roping with Jeff Flanagan. Colin didn't have a chance to make the finals, and Jeff was kind of on the outside.
Didn't you guys bust him at Pendleton or something?
Yeah, we did. We started at maybe Lewiston is when Jake and I started roping because Jeff and Colin both went home, and it kind of worked out. They got to go home, and Jake and I just formed a new team, and because we both kind of needed to be.
That's
out.
what, about end of August?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you only had about 30 days left.
Yeah.
To try to make it.
And we ended up, we won second at Pendleton. We did pretty good. And then, so we're roping at the finals, and we go round one, and we go like 4-2, 4-3 maybe.
Yes.
And it felt easy, and I'm like, we're going to win so much.
Yeah.
And then I don't think I caught another one until like round 9. Yeah. But it was...
what did it feel like, though? You've been to the NFR a few times. Now one of your lifelong friends is making his first NFR, and you get to be the guy that does it with him.
It was pretty cool because Jake... man, he's really handy.
Yeah.
He handles his rope as good as anybody. And I knew he was going to do his job, and I'd always thought, even the year that leading up to that, I thought, man, if this guy gets to the finals, he's going to turn him back fast.
Yeah.
And I told him after the finals, I said, man, I should have just practiced at my house and just tied the head rope to the head box and turned him out and let him turn that fast. Because I don't think I've seen steers turn that fast before. I wasn't ready.
He's a hand for sure. But I know you've said multiple times, man, I always want to be one of the best healers ever, and I'm just not. You are.
Well,
I'm telling you right now, we've had the luxury of watching you. I mean, it's your name's etched in there 3 times and ain't never coming out.
Right.
And the idea that you do what you love is what people need to learn from this podcast. That's your algorithm. Yeah. You do what you love, and you're willing to do whatever it takes to learn to do what you love.
Right.
Professional team roping was your love, and that's what you did. Your love's riding horse now, and your family, and that's what you do. And I think it says a lot about your character and who you are as a person.
Right.
That you're going to chase what you love.
Yeah.
And
learn from this guy.
Absolutely. Just like he did. Just be a sponge. He was an aspiring team roping healer that had an opportunity to go head steers for Travis Graves and thought, I've got to go over there and do this so I can learn how's he do it? What's his algorithm? Right. Do what it takes, and it means a lot. And we really appreciate you coming on here. This is our first podcast. We're really excited. It's been a perfect first one, honestly. Man. It's great. You got some good stories. Before we go, though,
oh no,
we do have some rapid fire questions. Okay, you just got to answer these first thing that comes to mind. Okay, rapid fire. Okay, if you're not rodeoing, what would be your dream job?
Being a horse trainer.
Okay, horse trainer. All right. What's your favorite rodeo of the year?
Pendleton.
Okay.
Knew that one.
Yeah.
What's your most memorable win?
Probably Pendleton.
Okay. Go-to fast food spot.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In and out.
Okay. A night off from being a cowboy, you'll find Tyler Worley doing what?
Sitting in my recliner.
All right. What's the best horse you ever rode?
Bon Jovi.
Okay. All right. In no particular order, who's the 5 greatest healers of all time? Put you on the spot there.
That's pretty tough.
It's tough. No particular order.
I'm going to have to go with Jade. Clay Cooper.
Okay.
Rich Skelton. I would say Thorpe.
Okay.
Maybe Junior.
Okay.
Probably.
You're out. That's fine.
And I know I'm gonna leave somebody out. That's what's so hard. But it's like you can't. You've got so many different generations, and
for sure,
you know, everybody changed the game. But that's the ones that I remember.
Yeah.
You know, I know there's even guys like Leo. You know, but I don't.
Yeah.
That was before my
What about headers?
Wall, obviously. Yeah. I mean,
what about headers? What's in no particular order the top 5 headers all time that come to mind?
I feel like that's like.
I know it's hard.
Yeah,
that's the point.
I mean,
rapid fire.
Jake Barnes, speed, probably Driggers.
Yeah.
Man,
It's a tough question.
headers is.
It is.
I feel like you should at least give me a heads up.
You got two more.
I know.
It's hard.
Golly, I don't even know. Clay Tryon for sure.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
4.
We'll go with Chad.
Chad Masters.
Chad's been around for a long time, and he's still really good.
You just got 2 questions left. What's the best piece of advice you ever got? First thing that comes to mind.
This isn't very rapid fire.
What's rapid for you?
This is rapid for me. Probably my dad telling me that no time is always no money.
There you go.
You have to catch no matter what.
No time is no money.
No time.
You got to catch. Give yourself a chance.
You got to give yourself a chance. Yeah,
That's right.
That kind of along those lines.
Well, the hot seat's almost over. It's your last question.
I feel like this is going to be the.
If you could go back to 18 years old and do it all again, would you?
I would do it again tomorrow. The
100%.
same way. I mean, I've made a lot of mistakes, a lot of things I'm not proud of, but I feel like it all helped me in some way. I learned from it.
Yeah.
I know you probably wish when I was living with you that I would have handled things a little differently, but obviously now I'm a lot better than I was then. And I
for
feel
sure.
like
You stepped off in it. You learned.
Yeah, I mean, you got to put yourself out there. So.
Part of it. It was fun watching you learn what a washing machine and a dryer was. Now, we really appreciate you coming on. It's been a great time. Hope everybody enjoyed the episode. We got more of them coming down the road, and good luck at the Cinchtown Event Championship, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Good luck.
Thanks.
Appreciate it very much.